And then it's just subliminal messages underneath. What would your subliminal message be,
Tony is the best man ever in Mr. Movie Phone's voice.
Maybe Tony's very famous.
Maybe I'm going to put subliminal messages in this review.
I wish I was as cool as Tony.
Tony is the most handsomest, most muscular, most... Oh, I'm going to stop now. This is painful.
Tony didn't ruin Cinemassacre.
It's time to hack the movies. Today, we're talking about tapes with Tony and Crystal and somebody else.
Hello, Erin.
Hi. Are we starting right now?
We are starting now.
Okay.
And we are introducing Erin. Erin is being introduced. Erin from Erin Plays.
That's me.
Yay.
She is Erin from Erin Plays. That is a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel.
Yes, I stream and I make videos about retro video games.
Yes. So she's been introduced. Crystal, has she been introduced?
Officially, yes.
Yay.
Okay, good. And that's Crystal. Anyway, we're here to talk about tapes, guys. And this is, by the way, I love that we all have cat ears. Well, you have the cool cat ears. I'm lucky I still had this. I'm like a multi-colorful lion.
Oh, you're like a furry.
Yeah,
I'm like a furry who's like
Pussycats and more like I shouldn't say it.
Totally say it.
But it's okay. I had the original merchandised Pussycat ears that came out because I was obsessed with the movie when it came out. And I don't have them anymore. So these are just regular Twitch thought ears. That's where I am now in my life.
I want to say I've not seen this movie.
Have you still not watched
it? No. I've seen it.
Oh
I've definitely seen it.
I was going to be like, do you care that little about me being on this show?
Like, Erin,
the one time he
Erin, can you just tell me what happened in the movie? I accidentally watched Gem and the Holograms from 2015.
I still haven't seen that.
No one saw it.
No.
Erin, it was in theaters for 2 weeks, and it did so bad they rushed it out.
It could have been good.
Well, that's what happens when your main actor's only other credit is daughter in Sharknado. They put a lot of...
Hey, Sharknado is fantastic, and it's a masterpiece.
Though.
Yeah.
I wish
I mentioned it a lot. I have 2 friends in Sharknado. One of them was my lead actress in my my senior thesis. She just falls on the beach and her neck is open, ripped open. So yeah, I never saw this movie. I remember it being advertised.
Yeah.
A lot.
I have a lot to say about the advertisement.
Yes, because... I remembered some of the advertisements, and it did not match with the movie I watched. And I think I have it in here. I remember Tara Reid was dating Carson Daly after this movie.
Which makes one scene in the movie so much better.
Yeah, and Carson Daly has been on record saying he dodged a bullet by not going through with their engagement.
But
I remember her going on TRL to, by the way, this movie is a goddamn time capsule.
It's perfect. it's like the early 2000s, exactly.
Yes, and I was not like ready for that. I was like, oh Jesus, oh God.
A fantastic flash to the past.
Yeah.
I have some notes here.
Okay, cool. Because I have so many thoughts. I need some direction, so I'll let you take that.
Newt likes to put his behind the scenes he read on Wikipedia, but he also, for episodes he's not in, he likes to interject stuff. Okay. So literally the first note on an episode without Newt is first movie Newt ever ran solo as a manager, projectionist at the AMC Marlton 8 in 2001. And no one watched it with him, so he watched it all alone.
Aww.
All right, next.
What a fucking crybaby.
I saw the movie in theaters twice.
Really?
Because I loved it. Because I was in like middle school.
Yes.
But I already, I think, had a better understanding of the movie than a lot of like grown like men at the time. But we'll get on to the marketing and criticisms later.
I don't know how many grown men were seeing the movie for its intended purpose.
I didn't see the movie until last week.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're like me.
I didn't realize it even. I knew it kind of existed, but never knew. And I wish I saw it back then. I wish I saw it. Because it's like,
you would have loved it.
I would have absolutely loved it.
And this is from the writer-director duo of Can't Hardly Wait and Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. So they had experience. They had experience with the cartoon.
But this was their last feature that they've ever done after this at all.
Really?
Crushed their soul.
Yeah.
The way the movie was received crushed their soul.
Yeah. They have a lot of credits, though. I checked their credits. I mean, they're doing stuff.
They do, right now they're doing Mary and June or something, or Mary and Jane. something that's coming.
Oh, so they're doing stuff.
They are doing some things, but they haven't done another feature film since this movie.
Crystal, I don't understand why looking at Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from 1994 is giving you all this information about the movie.
It triggers a lot of memories.
Are you secretly hiding? Oh, it's an
iPad with tons and tons of notes because I decided to be a better co-host and not just watch the movie, but take extensive notes on my note-taking and then some history.
Can you also get a dictionary and learn how to say extensive?
No, speak Crystal. You have to speak Crystal.
Anyway, what'd you call it? Rachael Leigh Cook's singing voice was dubbed by the lead singer of the band Letters to Cleo.
Yeah, actually, the soundtrack, which actually ended up doing better, I think, than the movie. Like, it was certified gold. I have it on vinyl.
Yeah,
I like it so much.
By the way, this thing started, I didn't realize how big it was. I'm like, oh man, I was like trying to put it here, but it was just too big.
It's a fucking great soundtrack. It's funny because I have it written down, but like the people involved in writing the music, you have like a dude from Fountains of Wayne. What was the other one? Oh, the guy from Counting Crows. So it's like, which I'm like, okay, but I mean, like they did a good job.
No, the music is
a solid
the
soundtrack.
Bonus is songs from Du Jour.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna get into the songs from Du Jour.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Apparently, in order to preserve the wholesome image of Josie and the Pussycats, Archie Comics demanded there be a scene where Josie and the Pussycats are brushing their teeth. Apparently, that's
what they wanted. Did them brushing their teeth?
Apparently, the Archie people did not like this movie.
It wasn't.
But now, but it's so funny to see where they are now with the Riverdale show, where they're just changing everything and. What you call it? Archie is crossed over with the Predator, the Punisher, and Sharknado. Like, they don't care anymore.
They don't care anymore because it's making money and it's bringing them back. They're just, wholesome, throw it out the window.
Yeah. And like I said, it was a box office bomb.
Yeah. So the way they marketed this movie, first of all, it's PG-13.
Yes.
There's like pussy jokes in it. There's a song called Backdoor Lover. Which, when I saw it, I didn't know what that meant. I thought, it means you want to sneak him around because it's embarrassing.
You know what's weird? I haven't seen this movie before, but I know that song because that's the first song they play.
Yeah.
I know it. Newt sings that song all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's like in your head forever.
He sings it all the time. I'm like, he's really into that song. Like, he wears the headphones, but it's like, it's always so loud that I know like every lyric.
Just on repeat?
On repeat. It's weird. It's a problem. We've asked him to turn the music down. Anyway.
But yeah, so getting to the marketing, it's just weird because they like, I remember it being kind of weird because like I was like, okay, like everything's marketed towards like young girls. Like there was Halloween costumes, like accessories, like for like 8-year-old girls, but like the movie's not for that audience. And I think that killed it because like they didn't know, like the people in charge of the marketing clearly didn't know who to market it to, which sucks because it's like a good movie about like satire on marketing and music and movies. And people didn't get it. And then critics were like, there's too much marketing in this. And I'm like, that's the freaking point. How do you miss that? It's they hit you over the head that this is the joke and they don't get it.
Yeah, I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did. This movie is hilarious, and let's get into the movie proper.
I have a couple facts.
Oh.
Let me throw some couple facts. And they did, we were talking about being PG-13, and I think they realized it when it came out because they do have a PG version.
Yes.
Where they did take all of that out. Because I looked it up and I was like, how is this PG-13? And then I started thinking about it and I was like, that makes sense.
Did you see any of the edited version?
I saw what was taken out.
So bad.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And like you could see the word, but it's just the words are coming out, but their mouth is still saying stuff.
Is this like Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon? From Die Hard 2, the ending of Die Hard 2 on TV, they just overdub
or like Galaxy Quest, Sigourney Weaver, when she says fuck. I forget what they dub her saying, but it's clearly the words. And it's she couldn't stop cursing during the movie.
And it's like, this probably hurt it because for a while, I feel like you could only find the family edited version in stores. So like there were probably people buying it and going, oh, this sucks. And it's like, that's not the right version.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Well, at least they came out eventually. It's not like Tammy and the T-Rex, which was a PG-13 movie for kids, but then apparently it started as a really violent R-rated movie. And now you can get the violent R-rated version.
The original is phenomenal.
Like, it's a comedy, but they were like, someone must have been like, what are you doing? This is dinosaurs. It's meant for kids. Cut out all the sex jokes and gore.
This is a great one for like adults that are like us, like super immature.
So,
do you know that the girls apparently had to go to band camp for 2 weeks to learn how to play the instruments? And it's hilarious because Tara Reid was in American Pie.
Yeah.
And she had the famous line of this one time at band camp, so she couldn't stop laughing the entire time.
That was Allison
That wasn't her?
My notes are totally wrong then, because it said Tara Reid.
Whoa,
or maybe it wasn't her line. No, it was the redhead, right?
Yeah, Allison Hannigan.
Sorry. It was yes.
Wow. How do you just not know the names of your people? Your brave people.
It's funny because they even look totally different.
I know. I don't know why I wrote that.
But
yes, it's because Tara Reid was in American Pie.
Yes.
And that line was said over and over, so she thought that was hilarious. Sorry, I read my notes.
I'm going to Photoshop like Tara Reid onto Allison Hannigan's face.
Yes, please. Sorry. I get my redheads confused, I guess. I'm sure you're going to get us confused. Like, it's fine. It's fine.
Listen, Erin, keep going. Sorry, Crystal.
Oh, my God.
Oh, damn it.
It's okay. Sure. Everyone thinks I'm literally everyone else that's not me. So
that's
it's
okay.
totally
I'm
fine.
apparently comedians who overdosed on coke in the 80s. Apparently, I'm them.
So they think you're like, you never died and you're still alive?
Yeah, they're like, you look
That's
like
cool.
Belushi. You're Belushi. You could be Belushi's kid. And I'm like, well, he died 8 years before I'm born, so that's going to be a little hard.
Mandela effect. I have the bubbles that you see in Mega Records. They change from white to yellow as the film goes on because the text couldn't keep it white. So you just see them changing color.
So they like stain. That's funny. That's funny.
There is officially 73 companies that you see with product placement.
Nice.
Yeah. And like you said, it's done as a joke, and they apparently didn't accept money from them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What was your favorite product placement moment? I know mine.
What was yours?
Mine
Oh,
was
wait. I know yours. Can I guess it?
Yes. Guess it.
Is it the McDonald's bathroom?
Yes. When Melody Tara Reid is in the McDonald's bathroom, and there's like, and her little sponge is like a shake guy,
Yes.
and then like there's a Ronald,
Yeah.
and then there's just M's like all over. It's great. That's my favorite.
Oh, I love seeing the Target doll or the Target dog everywhere.
Yes.
I was like, yes!
That was great. And the Evian like in the aquarium.
Oh, yeah. That was ridiculous.
That one was the best one. That was funny.
Yeah.
One of my last notes is that Brandy and Aaliyah and Beyonce and Left Eye from TLC were all considered for Valerie.
Oh.
So
That's weird they didn't go with
That's
any
interesting.
Of them.
Yeah.
Huh.
They said Beyonce actually was a little more on the quiet side, a little bit more on the shy side, which is very different from Beyonce now. But this is also...
She's always been
late
reserved,
90s.
though, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, especially when she was with Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
She wasn't...
That's
she had the
interesting.
star, but she wasn't
Yeah.
as out as she is now.
Well,
Yeah.
Brandy would have made sense because of the singing and whatnot. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I feel like Left Eye would have been a little bit too maybe hard. I noticed the way she played it in TLC. She was a
Yeah.
little bit more of the rougher side.
I can't picture her acting. That would have been crazy.
Yeah. And then Aaliyah, but she actually passed away a couple months after the movie premiered. So that would have been really weird.
Yeah.
But that
would've
also
been
could have
weird.
changed her entire...
Aaliyah came up in the other episode we shot today. How's Aaliyah coming up all the time?
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
Always.
But I think Rosario Dawson was... I am the biggest Rosario Dawson fan. She's so... I've actually hung out with her for a little bit.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Wow,
That's awesome.
Sweetest person
Wow, name
ever.
drop, right?
Newt's not here, so someone has to name
I
drop.
actually know her.
She doesn't, like, I'm sure she forgot, but
Yeah.
we hung out for a while, like, this one event.
Mm-hmm.
The most beautiful person inside and out.
She just
She's
seems
so
like a good
pure.
person,
She
you know?
is. She is
And she's-
absolutely a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Do you say this about me when you're with other people?
No. I go, Tony who? And then they go, you know, famous Tony from half the movies.
I'm going to take a time machine back to September. Tony, can Crystal be on the show? I'm going to be like, no! Anyway,
Rough.
can we get into the movie now?
Yes.
The movie proper. Okay. It starts off with women shrieking like banshees. And then just Justin Chatwin. He's one of the guys in the crowd being interviewed. I'm like, that's Justin Chatwin from Shameless and the Dragon Ball movie, which probably isn't that good. And I forget what else he's in. But I'm like, holy shit, he's like a really big actor. And here he is, just like this bit part. I was not expecting it. I didn't recognize anyone else but him. And then, Du Jour comes out singing
Seth Green's
the
in
Backdoor
Du Jour.
Lover,
God.
which I was fucking dying. Like right away, I'm like, oh my God, it's this kind of movie. I love it.
Yeah.
So funny.
And then they get on a plane after the show. Alan Cumming is their agent. I love Alan Cumming.
Yes.
Also have hung out with Alan Cumming.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's also Broadway, like, and I worked with Broadway producers and stuff, so it was like after his after.
Do you feel like he'd be fun to hang out with? I feel like I could hang out with.
I have pictures with it. Like, he is also the most talented actor I have ever met. Yeah. So ridiculously talented and so ridiculously sweet and so much fun.
That's awesome.
So much.
He was freaking in everything at this point.
Yeah.
He had a part in like Eyes Wide Shut. He was in this. He was in X-Men 2 as Nightcrawler, and he was never invited back. He finally, a few years ago, because everyone always said rumors like he was too hard to work with and he didn't like this. And like finally a few years ago, he's like, hey, let me just be clear. I was never asked back. It's like, oh shit, what did they do to piss him off?
My first time ever seeing him is in the best movie that ever existed.
Yeah.
Spice World.
Oh, who was he in Spice World?
Well, he was the agent. And it's just funny because I remember the first time I watched the movie, like when it came, I was like, this reminds me of something. I'm like, oh, Spice World. Yeah. He's like the same character kind of. But...
And he was also in Son of the Mask.
Oh my God, your favorite movie.
It's not my favorite movie.
Just like Goonies.
But I
Tony loves Goonies.
Goonies is overrated. I love when they're on the plane, they're all fighting with each other. It's like Seth Green, Breckenmeyer, Donald Faison.
Yeah.
And then one guy I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm sure I've seen him in things, but...
He looks familiar, but I don't know.
It's like the other three stand out so much, and then... I know there's one person watching who's like, I love that guy. I don't know who the other three are.
Yeah.
But I love when they're like complaining about everything, and they're finally like, de jour means this, de jour means that.
De jour means friendship.
Means family.
Do you know what
teamwork?
Do you know what de jour really means?
Yes.
Of the day. Which is kind of funny because they're like, that's what's popular now.
Yeah.
That's what that was soup du jour.
Yeah. And I love Alan Cummings trying to keep them all calm. And then they're like, hey, we heard this weird sound on this CD. And he's like, oh, I'll take care of it. And then this is a really mean joke. He goes to the pilots, and one of the pilots, I think, is one of the directors. And he's like, take the Chevy to the levee.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I laugh so hard.
But that's like a mean joke.
Really mean joke.
Because it's about the musicians who died. What was it, Buddy Holly?
Oh, that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what that song is about.
Now you have a totally different or something.
The day the music died is about, what was it?
Yes,
Buddy
Holly.
Oh, that makes sense.
Big Bopper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were 3 people on the plane who died, and that's why he goes, take the Chevy to the levee, because they're crashing.
Well, that makes sense. Well, my world's totally different now.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And then I
just ruined this.
I love him just parachuting out, the plane crashing. He's like, we need a new band. I'm like, holy shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then we get the opening montage where we meet Josie, Melody,
and
Valerie.
Yay!
I don't know how the fuck I do not have their names in my notes. I can't. All my notes are Tara Reid and Rosario Dawson.
Because it's like struck such a chord with you. You're gonna remember that forever.
Yes.
He also never knows the actors' character names ever in any movie. Really?
Oh, so
he always calls them by by their actual actor names.
Crystal, I got a lot of these to do. And then as a bonus, I got to do a bunch of Godzilla movies, and then call into other people. I can't keep track of every character's name, to be honest. I really can't.
That's why they're notes.
I do these notes when I'm very tired after a hard day of being famous.
I thought you were gonna say I do them when I'm very drunk.
No,
what's worse is Newt does the notes.
No.
Newt does his notes.
He does his notes, and then I add my notes to his.
So you have like a guy. You're like, I'm a note guy.
Yeah. And I gotta
like we think
constantly
he's
fact
like the
check
writer
Newt's
of a
notes.
song.
Because fake Newts.
No.
Newts and fake notes.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry. I feel like I just ruined the entire perceptions. Like, there's this awesome singer, and you're like, oh, they sing all and they write all these songs from the heart. But no, they actually have a guy that writes the song.
Yeah.
No, Billie Eilish's brother produces all her music, and her parents are famous. Spoiler.
Who are her parents?
I forget. They're famous in like music industry, I think. So
she's like talented as hell.
We get our opening montage. We have Tara Reid, pre-meltdown Tara Reid.
I love Tara Reid. She
seems
seems like a very sweet soul.
I feel bad for Tara Reid too, and I feel like that was the first one. It was before social media, but like the internet really went after her when she was on her downward spiral.
That was like when TMZ first became a thing, when it was like going after her and Lindsay Lohan and stuff. And
Lindsay Lohan got a little bit more attention because social media was on the rise, but And then you have people like Amanda Bynes and stuff, which I don't know if they ever recovered.
I feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
I really do. Because they have such a shitty life growing, especially if you were like that star in the 90s, like free Britney.
Yeah.
But Tara Reid was great. Rosario Dawson, as we said, is really, really good in this. This is when she was in Kids, which was a big movie.
Yes.
This is like when she started getting like more mainstream. Because then after this, she's in like a Men in Black 2. She's in Adventures of Pluto Nash, which is one of the worst reviewed movies of all time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
I
Rent.
fell in love with her when I saw Rent.
I thought Rent sucked.
I haven't seen Rent.
I'm sure the play's good. I'm weird with plays that are adapted as movies. Every time I watch them, I'm like, I feel like this would be better as a play.
The only one that was better as a movie than the actual Broadway show is Chicago. The movie is way better than the show.
I never
But yeah, she was in she was Batgirl in Lego Batman.
Yeah, she is. Yes, I like Rosario Dawson.
And she does a decent amount of video game work too.
So does Rachael Leigh Cook.
Yeah, that's what I thought was so
We were talking
weird.
about like, what has Rachael Leigh Cook done? It's like she's mostly like Christmas made for TV movies, which is that's where the fucking money is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What's her name? Lacey Chabot or whatever. She's just in a ton of those movies like every
I didn't
year.
know that.
And so was Lori Loughlin before she committed the felony. Anyway, so yeah, Rachael Leigh Cook plays Josie, and she was from She's All That.
I loved that movie.
Oh yeah, the movie.
I love my teen movies.
Guys, I think we talked about this, and I know we did last summer, but I'll just reiterate. Here's the plot of She's All That. They have to make this insanely beautiful woman get more insanely beautiful for prom.
Take off her glasses and don't wear a ponytail.
And it's like, oh wow. I think we also talked about it in Poison Ivy, the thing. It's like, oh wow, she's slightly more hot. What a turnaround.
Yeah.
But I love how in the 90s, like, that was a thing. They're like, look at this ugly broad. It's like, oh, that
How
really?
can she show herself? She's hideous.
She's up. Well, take your class. And it's like, oh, okay.
They are making a He's All That, though.
That's
what I looked up her IMDb, and it says that's
Is she going to be in it?
Yeah, that's in production.
I was watching, because they did a 20th anniversary reunion for Josie and the Pussycats, and she said, it was just like an offhand comment, but Rachael Leigh Cook was like, this is the only movie of mine that I've done in the past that I can actually watch and like enjoy. And I'm like, what does she think about She's All That? She has to like She's All That.
But no, I like it's weird she didn't like stay in like A-list mainstream movies
because she was like kind of skyrocketing around then.
Great in it too in Josie and the Pussycat. Like
she's great in this. I'd have to see other movies she was in.
She was in 2 music videos. Oh, Rosario Dawson was also in Aaliyah's Miss You music video, but Rachael Leigh Cook was in one of my favorite music videos as a kid. Love this one, and everyone's gonna make fun of me. Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer.
She was in that music video?
In that.
Kiss Me.
Well, she had to be, because that was for She's All That.
Yeah.
That was like the main
would
song.
make more sense.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
By the way,
and Newfound Glory as well.
Oh.
I'm shocked I haven't seen this movie because I grew up around nothing but girls, and the fact that I knew what the fuck Kiss Me was and I started singing it should be evidence of that.
No, that's good. You're a man of culture, Tony.
Yeah, no, that's what happens when you have nothing but girl cousins.
That's good.
But yeah, the opening montage is very fun. It reminds you of the Charlie's Angels opening montage where you're like, you're learning about the characters just without the narration. This movie has so many sight gags. And one of the best ones early on is the honk if you love pussy.
Yeah.
And it causes an accident.
And I like how she runs away with her arms up the whole time.
Yeah, so then a bunch of girls are mean. Oh, I love they're playing their show and just no one's at the bowling alley.
Yeah. That's realistic.
But I don't know if you know this fact. Do you know who one of the mean girls is? The girls that are being mean to them, one of them is Catherine Isabel. From Ginger Snaps.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You know who she met on this movie?
The sisters.
The Soska sisters.
Yes.
And they were also extras in the movie, and they've gone on to make horror movies and stuff together.
And that's how they ended up making Ginger Snaps, is because of that. Because of this movie.
Was it Ginger Snaps or the other one?
Apparently it was, it's because they met her on this movie.
Oh, okay.
They never met her before.
But did the Soska sisters work on Ginger Snaps?
Apparently.
I thought they worked on that one, American Mary or something. But they went on to have
maybe
like
not. I could be
I
totally
saw her and I
wrong,
was like,
guys.
oh shit, that's Catherine Isabel.
But yes, that is where they went off from that and they ended up making movies together.
How did you not know that was Catherine Isabel?
I didn't know that's what we were, okay, it makes more sense now. Like everything is,
There's a special ed joke, which probably wouldn't fly in a movie today.
There's a few jokes that wouldn't fly today.
I mean, I think they're all hilarious, but I could see a producer being like, take that joke out.
Yeah, yeah.
We're special.
Yeah, special ed.
Which is something I can't relate to. I can't relate to people telling me to take jokes out of stuff. Not at all. Nope, not me. Anyway.
Hashtag cancel Tony.
I've cut my own stuff out. Go see the Devil's Advocate review. So Josie, not only is she just a great musician, but she can also fix cars for hunky boys.
Yeah, because she's like cool and not like other girls.
Yeah, I want to point out, I don't know if I've ever actually watched the cartoon. I definitely didn't read the comic. Is any of this accurate?
It's very loosely based on it. I barely seen the cartoon, but you said you were watching it.
Watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're really, really short.
Yeah,
the cartoon, they're just more personality in this movie. The cartoon really doesn't have that much personality. I mean, the best one would be Tara Reid for Melody because she is just a bumbling idiot in the cartoon, which is hilarious.
She reminds me of Peggy Bundy a little bit.
I don't see that.
Because they're both idiots. They are very stupid characters.
They're a total different
more
type
that,
of bubbly.
Like, she's like airheady, like like more like positive, like that would be great if I could be in more than one rooms at once or whatever. She says in the beginning.
Puppies and kitties and Blair, and that she's just
I feel like Kelly Bundy's done stuff like that.
She's not as Tara Reid Melody has a very innocence type of vibe where
oh yeah, I guess Kelly Bundy's that's the furthest you think of innocent. Yeah. All right, I'll give you the innocent thing. I'm just saying intelligence.
Her character is so bubbly with innocence. That's the whole point, where everything is just great.
And then their manager is played by the stoner from Road Trip. I'm sure he has a name. I'm sure he's an actor who's been in a lot of stuff, but all I recognized him from was the stoner from Road Trip, who was super smart.
I was like, I should know that guy, and I couldn't place him.
Did you ever see Road Trip?
I did, like, 20 years ago. When did that come out? 15 years ago?
I loved Road Trip. I watched Road Trip a lot.
The actor's name is Polo Costanzo.
Yes. So Alan Cumming, he goes to town looking for a new band. He plays the CD in the store and like everyone just starts buying everything. Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention, because like you said, with product placement, when they show Riverdale, by the way, this is in the Archie universe. I forgot. Yeah. I know we were mentioning Archie. We forgot the connection. Everyone has like the same SUV and everything, and they're all just brainwashed zombies that just buy everything, and the CD makes them buy stuff, except for the goth girl. And that really took me back.
That was funny when he's like, I really want to like hear what you have to say. You're an individual. And then he goes, we got to smells like Teen Spirit. I thought that was so funny.
Come down with me. We really want to just thrown right to the
she gets kidnapped by an MTV band? Like there's an MTV
No, it's just an advertisement.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, she gets kidnapped.
I think they're actually more on with VH1, because they have behind the music is what they
that's a fun thing that pops up. But yeah, so the band is playing again.
Yes.
And did you recognize the guy who tells them to stop playing? It's the dick lawyer from 13 Ghosts. The guy gets cut in half.
I didn't realize
we did 13 Ghosts recently. I'm like, he showed up. I'm like, I've seen that guy in a movie. I'm like, oh, he's the guy who gets sliced.
I didn't realize that.
That's funny.
But he's the one. He's like, get out of here. And I love, again, sight gags. Where they're like, where am I going to find a band? And then it's like the girls walk in front of the car. What's the sign say? Like,
and then they're passing, because they were taking down the du jour thing that said #1 band.
Oh, yeah.
And then they passed it like behind them, and they're all like, and the wind's blowing and it lights up. And then he puts the CD in front of it. It's great because the whole plane crashing with du jour was kind of, because around that time, boy bands were starting to like not be a thing.
Yeah.
And then the whole pop punk thing was starting to rise.
Yeah.
So it kind of was like a perfect analogy for that. I thought that was well done.
Speaking of not being a thing, I think this movie was a little late to the old cartoon turn live action trend. Because he had like what do you call it, like Dennis the Menace, and then Addams Family, which we've covered. There were a bunch of them like that.
That was like what, 4 years before this actually came out, like ish.
Well, and then you had the Flintstones. It was like a 90s thing, and this was just like a little too late.
That's true. But then I feel like they at that time in like pop culture, I feel like a trio of girls playing like instruments wouldn't have done well in the 90s. Like, I don't know how they would have done that to make it marketable.
Well, I think they also might have been trying to coast off like Charlie's Angels' success, because that was a trio of girls that did super well.
I think that was at the same time though.
It was right before it. It was right before it.
I think it was a perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
If it was marketed better, but yeah, I think it was a perfect time to do it.
Yeah. I just think because like.
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, it's just a little, and people were probably burnt out on that. They're like, I don't know, I've seen Flintstones too.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I think Alan Cumming is the little green alien in Viva Rock Vegas.
Oh my
Is
god!
that green alien from Flintstones, the Great Kazoo or something? Yeah, I think he's that character. So they probably were like, Alan, come back!
It's so crazy.
And I love the fact that MTV News also pops up when all the girls are sitting there.
Oh yeah,
I like remember her Serena, whatever. I'm like, oh my god, like that sound. I'm like,
yes,
childhood.
As soon as it was like, oh my god, I'm feeling things right now. As soon as I saw that. But we also how Alexander and Alexandria both went into the kitchen and started talking to the girls about management and how they had the tickets.
Right.
And that's the first time you actually meet Alexandria, who I think they actually casted that phenomenally.
Missy Pyle.
Oh my gosh. Because even in the cartoon, she actually has the biggest personality in the cartoon. And she's pretty much like this annoying bitch throughout the entire thing. She has the most lines, it seems like. And she played it perfectly in the movie, and I just loved her. Yeah. I loved her so much.
There's a joke we're getting to that almost floored me. It was pretty good.
Yes.
It's delivered by her. But yeah, so Alan Cummings basically like, you should sign with us, and the manager's like, wait a minute, what about me? And it's like, you can sign too, sure, why not? And they're hesitant at first, and then they just go in the bathroom, and then suddenly they're just cool with it.
Yeah.
They get to go to New York, but she makes sure to bring her hunky guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's afraid that Missy Pyle's character is going to go after him. But then she invites herself along, and then this is the joke.
Yes.
I was not ready for this like fourth wall breaking.
You know what? I still don't understand why you're here.
I'm here because I was in the comic book.
What?
Nothing.
Because you never know why she's actually there. Even in the comics and in the cartoon, you're just like, why is she there? She just has like the hugest, she clearly hates Josie and the I can't help it.
They're just called the Pussycats right now.
Oh yes, that's right.
That's true.
But in the cartoon and they are Josie and the Pussycats, and Alexandra hates them and always wants to be called Alexandra's Cool Cats. And that's the thing that she always wants. And like, why is she with them if she hates them so much? It's because she's also in love with Alum and so freaking much.
That makes more sense.
They don't see that in the movie at all. You don't even realize how much she's in love with Alan until like the end.
Yeah.
Which was odd.
Alan Cumming works for Parker Posey.
Yes.
Fiona. Her name's Fiona, right? Okay. I like Parker Posey.
I like how, this is really weird, but like, I like how Parker Posey like moves her mouth and talks. Like I find it mesmerizing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she has a very specific way of saying words.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
I like her.
I've liked her in most things I've seen, even bad things. You could put Blade Trinity on, and you're like, wow, this movie really sucks. Parker Posey is doing pretty well. You know what she's great in recently? The Lost in Space reboot.
Oh my god, I forgot that was a thing.
She plays Dr. Smith. And when they first announced it, they're like, Dr. Smith going to be played by Parker Posey. And then I said, a woman playing Dr. Smith. And then I went on the internet and I yelled about it.
As you do.
And then I went to Netflix's headquarters and I threw a brick through it. And I said, stop it. But then the show came out. I'm like, holy shit, she does a really great job as Dr. Smith. She was like awesome in that show. What? Why are you giving me that face? But no, she's great in this, and I love that she's the villain. She's good as a bad guy.
She's so good. She just has this amazing presence.
And basically, what is it? She has an underground base.
Yeah.
And also a ton of cocaine on her fab, which they brush it real quick before you register what it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's glitter. I don't know. But
I thought it was just supposed to be like a normal Zen garden thing. Are you talking about that she swipes?
Oh, I thought it was cocaine.
Maybe it's a Zen garden full of cocaine, because that would make more sense for like the
Zen
vibe.
Garden full of cocaine.
That's
like
genius. If that is supposed to be cocaine, I never caught that. That's funny.
But I like that the office sinks into a secret base, and it reminds me of a movie called The Dark Knight Rises, where there's the reactor.
Oh, here we go.
There's a reactor that Marion Cotillard has, her character. Or no, Bruce Wayne has. He shows Marion Cotillard, and they go down there. And what do you think about that movie? Out of all the Batman movies.
I think out of all the Batman movies, it's probably my least favorite. But there is one scene that I think is very powerful. It's when the stadium collapses.
Okay. Yeah, that scene's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're wrong, but that you're right about that part. I'm gonna let that one.
I like
slide.
how Bane talks. It's funny.
You do.
I remember seeing that in theaters with my dad, and he just looks at me at one point. And he goes, "I can't understand what the fuck he's saying."
Well, that was Erin's last episode.
I told you, I like your fucking scene, Tony. What more do you want me to say? Just Tony was in the Batman movies.
Hey, you know what? It's funny because just this weekend, how many people came up and they're like, will you sign Dark Knight?
I had someone have me sign Dumb and Dumber. I was like, what? Okay.
One time I signed, which is funny, somebody asked me to sign anything, but I signed a copy of a Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh.
And I'm like, yes, something I talk about a lot.
Did you see that new Mortal Kombat?
No.
Fucking trash.
I didn't see it.
It's the worst thing I've ever.
I'm
Anyway,
not surprised.
check out our review of that. Yeah, so she's basically talking about what her company does. And it's basically they decide what's cool.
Yeah.
And they make all the gadgets, they make like everything.
The sling. Totally jerking.
Yeah. Yes. And it's all she has a joke where I'm like, oof, couldn't do that joke today. Where it's all about like keeping your citizens in line and control them. She goes, Chinese guy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And, he's like, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah. There's so many things. Yeah. It was a different time in 2001.
It was.
Yeah, so I love that Eugene Levy explains the brainwashing.
Who was also in American Pie with Tara Reid.
He was.
So many connections.
He's on that show I don't watch that everyone loves. Schitt's Creek. Him and his son with the big eyebrows.
I don't watch it.
Apparently he's great in that. I love Eugene
Everyone
Levy.
says it's good.
I really like Eugene Levy. Not enough to watch that show. Yeah. But I'm like, if you put something, it's kind of like Parker Posey. I'm like, oh, well, at least Eugene Levy's in it.
I'll give it a watch.
So yeah, they basically explain the subliminal messaging, and then when they talk about like if the bands catch on, they're like, we have a plan, and it's VH1 behind the music.
Yeah,
so good, so smart.
That was such a. It's like, because certain parts of the early 2000s, you know, because it's all coming back, because all the Zoomer kids are all like nostalgic for that fashion. Which was when I was in high school, and I'm like, but I'm glad like. Where was I going with this? I had a good point to make.
That's okay. We lose our train of thought all the time.
Yeah. Welcome back.
You're right though. You're right though about like people our age like going back and wanting to relive this period of time. That's why they watch this show.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Because I like that they captured, I feel like, the good part of the Y2K era. Like when MTV was like, it was like iconic, like TRL, like shit like that. And like the behind the music, the news. It was just like, they captured the good parts of 2001.
The fun parts.
Yes.
The Y2K.
And the rampant product placement. Just corporate products.
Love it.
Yeah, so then the girls sing their song. And at first I wrote, I'm like, do they only have one song? And luckily they start playing more songs.
They have a whole soundtrack.
They have a whole soundtrack, which you own.
Yes.
I love, they're like, yeah, let's run it through a filter. And it like completely changes the sound of the song.
Yeah, it sounds all like produced and magical. Well, it's supposed to kind of be a magical machine.
Yeah.
So
can we get that machine for this? So I don't have to do audio anymore.
And then it's just subliminal messages underneath. What would your subliminal message be,
Tony is the best man ever in Mr. Movie Phone's voice.
Tony is very famous.
Maybe I'm going to put subliminal messages in this review.
I wish I was as cool as Tony.
Tony is the most handsomest, most muscular, most... Oh, I'm going to stop now. This is painful.
Tony didn't ruin Cinemassacre. You should probably cut that one. Or whatever.
What are you talking about? That's so fucking hilarious.
That's amazing.
It's a joke. Everything's I don't know.
That's fucking
Sometimes I don't know when to rail it in.
No, that was great.
Go all out. You're great. You're doing phenomenal.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just going to
have to.
She's in forever.
Erin, you'll never, like, you don't have to reel it in. You'll never go as far as me and Newt do.
Okay.
So you're fine.
That makes me feel better. It's always the worst when, like, I'd be in a room and I say something and I can tell I, like, shock the people there. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that happens, like 50 times a day.
Do your worst, Erin. Do your worst.
Okay.
So yeah, they finally sing their new song. It's being used to brainwash kids.
Yes.
And now Catherine Isabel is the biggest Josie and the Pussycats fan.
I love the line that Alan says. What's the point of being famous if the people you hated in high school isn't kissing your ass? And I was like, being made fun of like throughout all of school. I was just like, oh, I want to be famous just for that. Just for that.
Revenge fame.
I had revenge today.
Oh,
what happened?
What happened?
The NFL did this whole video about how football is gay and queer. And I'm like, wow, all the people in high school called me gay for not liking football. Here it is. Football is now calling itself gay. I'm like,
the tables have turned.
Yeah, the tables have turned. Take that, grade school and high school bullies who said that to me all the time. It was a very proud day. But I'm like, yes.
Revenge is fantastic.
If I could remember all the people who bullied me, I would have sent them to all of them.
I remember all. I had most the girl. I had my gel pens and my black paper notebook.
Oh, that was the best.
Write. Oh my! I found it and I was like, oh my god, poor. I like want to go back in time and give her a hug, like younger Crystal. I was like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. If anyone found that, I would probably be turned into the authorities.
Middle school.
If I go back in time, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be like, yo, you got to turn this around. Let me tell you, there's this thing called MGTOW. You're gonna follow it to the T.
But then we wouldn't have turned out the awesome individuals and well-adjusted individuals that we are today.
As we all wear our chokers and cat ears talking about Josie.
Oh my god,
totally
if I
fine.
told my younger self, like, listen, you're gonna be on Hack the Movies wearing chokers and cat ears, she'd be like,
yeah.
She'd be like, I'm not entirely sure what that is.
She'd be like,
I'm like, sometimes if I'm feeling down, I'm like, well, you know what? 12-year-old Erin, she'd be happy.
Yeah.
She'd be happy doing what you do.
Yeah. 1 year ago.
12-year-old Tony would be like, oh, really, dude? I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
Like, that's it.
Anyway, the girls are
Back
getting
to the movie.
The girls are getting their. This is how it goes here.
Yeah.
The girls are getting their first concert ever. And I like this part where they're like, do you think this is moving too fast? And Alan Cumming is just ready to kill them again.
Call them.
Like, he doesn't have, it's just automatically like, oh, we have to kill them right
Like the second they're suspicious.
Yeah, and they're going to use the concert to brainwash the kids with cat ear headphones.
Yes.
And this movie predicted.
They predicted the cat ear headphone craze. Razor should pay them like
Yeah.
Is that who makes those?
I think so.
We'll go with that.
Whatever.
It's fine.
They do all the gaming shits.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's so funny because a few years ago they just started. I noticed like every girl was wearing those. I think Johanna had a pair. And yeah, and then like I see this movie, I'm like, wow, actually my girlfriend pointed out, she's like, wow, they really predicted it. I'm like, holy shit, they did. She also made another good point. She's like, I'm surprised this didn't do well, but like Zoolander did, because they're very similar, this and Zoolander.
Oh, yeah.
I was noticing that
They're
too.
very similar, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's like, it's just kind of how, especially back then, it's like people didn't associate like, oh, this is a chick flick. It's not funny.
Yeah.
They can't associate a girl movie being about satire, I feel like, back then.
Back then, yeah. No,
Yeah. Not everything's like that.
At least not like a big,
But
like AAA, like theatrically.
I think it had some to do with it, because there's no reason certain critics couldn't tell it's satire. It's like, how did you not
Yeah, like
understand
Roger
that?
Ebert like didn't get it at all.
I got it as a 12-year-old. I remember being triggered. This dude behind me was like, there's too much product placement in this. And I'm like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are so much smarter.
I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Like,
I was
my
gonna say,
friend,
like,
I'm like,
did you actually
he doesn't get it.
You got sat in the theater going, ah! I've yelled
I
in
probably
the theater.
did.
I've yelled in the theater like
Really?
multiple times. Oh my God. When that stupid asshole Benedict Cumberbatch said he was Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness, I stood up and I said, fuck you!
Oh,
you're not!
You were one of those people screaming at
I
the
was so
TV.
mad he was Khan. I was so mad he was Khan.
I never screamed in a theater, but I got startled by someone screaming in a theater. I was watching the first Wonder Woman movie.
Okay.
And with the part where she like jumps off a building and does some crazy move with the shield, the lady next to me goes, yeah, like the most intense, violent, like I like went like this. Like I was so it scared the shit out of me.
That's amazing.
That was the most like passion I've ever felt coming from a person in a movie theater.
I took my goddaughter to see that, and during that scene, she just kept punching the air. And I never talked about it because there were so many people who make up stories like that for social media clout.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm doing the same fucking thing. Although I'm not doing it for clout, but I'm like, oh wow, I guess it really does happen in life sometimes that she was punching the air. I'm like,
because
and then I was like, all right,
pure thing. It's not like a
is.
fabricated bullshitty, like, oh, like I'm gonna tweet this for like clout. It's like,
and then
no.
I was like, calm down, please stop punching.
Yeah, got her pumped up.
Yeah, it did. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we watched the new one recently, and we were.
She
I
wasn't
still
pumping
haven't seen
there.
it. See, in
Well,
theory,
like we sat there, and her
I
mom.
thought I'd like it. But
Yeah,
I'm
her mom
afraid
didn't
to
see the
like
first one. She's like, so this isn't, and like her younger sister didn't see the first one, so this is the first one we're seeing. Like the whole movie, me and her are like, No, trust me, the first one was really good. I don't know what's going on with this
I liked
one.
the first one.
Yeah.
It should have been good. It took place in a mall. I like mall movies.
Yeah, you could skip that one.
But
You could skip it.
I saw one scene where she like saves a kid or something with the whip. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah,
I was like,
the whip. Wonder Woman's famous whip. The whip of truth, they call it.
I was like, oh. Anyway.
Oh, I like when Parker Posey gets caught trying to double cross the Pentagon.
Yeah.
That was
Which
funny.
is like, yeah, you'll do
That
it.
was
Like,
close.
they're like, what did you say?
Something like that.
She's so good.
I really love that gag when the people talk under their breath they don't expect to be her. They're like, I was just saying.
Yeah, like she saves it pretty good.
Yeah, and I love Rosario Dawson is starting to feel like left out.
Yeah,
She
she's
doesn't-
starting to see what's going on.
Because
Yeah.
this is when they actually, before they got to the hotel, they saw the giant billboard said Josie and the Pussycats. And she's like, what the hell? And she also gets left on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
When I
Start
pulled the
driving
limo.
And he's like, oh, Valerie,
Oh,
I didn't
forgot
even
about
know
it.
you weren't here. And I was like, oh my God.
He's really mean singling her
Yeah.
out.
Really mean.
But I love she's watching behind the music.
Oh
and
my
it's like
God.
the story
Yes,
of
the captain,
the
Tennille.
chief, the captain and Tennille, and like
Yeah.
there was this third member, the chief.
And then they show him mopping. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And she's just like,
I can still remember those captains always said, friends first, the band second. I wish I had got that in writing.
That reminds me of we mentioned him recently. Was it Pete Best from the Beatles, the guy who left the Beatles right before they became
Yeah.
famous?
oh,
That's what that
yeah.
reminded
Isn't
me
that
of.
the guy everyone says Mike looks like?
I have no idea what Pete
I
Best
don't know.
I
looks
don't know
like
what
to
he
me.
looks
One
like.
of the Beatles, I think it's Pete Best, they say, people go, that looks like Mike. But people think everyone looks like Mike. Like that cartoon guy.
The only one, Lupin.
Yeah,
right?
that one
anime.
I'm actually
To
like-
be fair, that one does
That
look a lot
does look
like
like
it.
So
But I
this-
don't watch anime. 'Cause cartoons are for children, much like Josie and the Pussycat.
and
This
video
movie
games?
actually is
yeah,
not for
I
children.
know. Yeah, this movie.
I really thought this movie was PG and for kids.
Yeah.
And I was totally wrong. The scene, though, before that
Yeah.
was with Melody in the shower.
Oh,
All right.
Oh no, it was after this. It was
Oh, it was
after.
after?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
right after the McDonald's bathroom.
Yay.
Oh my God, I love this scene. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And then she just drops
the
her
sponge.
sponge and picks it up.
See,
she does it every time.
That's a
Yeah.
Kelly Bundy thing. That's a Kelly Bundy. That's
Yeah.
why I was. I watched Married Children right before I
Oh.
watched this movie. So
He also watches it a lot, and he mentions it a good amount.
I
That
watch
and
it every
Seinfeld.
night.
Seinfeld's the greatest show of all time, and Married with Children is fucking hilarious. Anyway,
It is hilarious.
I love like the message written on the thing.
Yeah.
Which also reminded me of so many other movies. Again, I really wish I saw this. I Know We Did Last Summer. There was like
Yeah.
a warning on the mirror, but I like that she just adds hearts to it.
She's like, oh no. And then she has like a heart and a happy face and the O. And then she's like, okay.
Yeah. Beware the music.
Yes.
So yeah, they go to let me see. Oh, Josie is getting ready for the party, and she's looking hot as hell.
Yeah.
She's looking hot as hell
There you go.
in that dress. And hunky guy Adam M.
Alan M.
Alan M. Yes.
Alan M.
He shows up to help her, and they're like starting to like flirt a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess it's like she's all
The
that.
whole-
It's like, oh
the
wow,
thing
she's
with
not
the
dressed like.
dress, the chain, like.
That was like in every
I
trailer,
love
I
it.
think.
Yeah.
I feel like that was in every
I feel
trailer.
like other movies have done that too.
Yeah.
Like,
But,
It is that like sensual, like it's sexy.
But also, it feels
Yeah.
like feels like she's all that again. Where It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're dressed like a normal hot girl. I like you now.
and she's like, I feel stupid in this. But like, and then he has to go like, no, you look amazing. She's like, well, I made cuffs out of it because I'm an individual, because I'm Josie. But whatever, I love her. I'm just saying.
I thought she was
Yeah.
hot fixing that truck. I thought
Yeah.
she was sexier.
She looks so.
than.
I didn't know it was a wig until I watched the like reunion thing.
Oh, really?
It looks like legit.
It looks like her hair. It's a good
Yeah,
wig.
it's a good wig. Actually.
There are modern movies that can't pull off a good wig
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. No.
So they all go to the party, and they're all looking great.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't get canceled for being misogynist. Why don't you read this line here?
Oh, am I gonna read it?
Right, you can either pass it to Crystal.
I'll
if you
read
want.
it.
Yeah,
I'll be
go
the
ahead.
bag purse girl. What am I
It's
reading?
the one about Rosario Dawson. Can you say it so I don't have to?
Rosario Dawson's tits are incredible in this.
Thank you for reading that so I didn't have to. And I think we can
I
all
did
agree.
notice
I
that
will-
though.
I will
I was
do that,
like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I noticed
That's a
it.
nice pair of tits.
Everyone loves
can
boobs.
appreciate- yeah.
Everyone loves
like
boobs.
even
That's
girls
my
can
new thing now. I
appreciate-
just
Yeah.
get girls to read everything. I don't want
Just
to get
about boobs. Like girls love boobs too. Everyone
Yeah.
loves boobs.
Yeah. So anyway,
Gay
all
men
three
love
of them.
boobs, girls love boobs, guys love boobs.
It makes
Boobs
the
are
world
great.
go round. I stuttered. I
That's
can't
literally-
speak.
That's perfect.
But yeah,
I talked to a
trying say that.
scientist, and he said, "Yeah, that's what it does."
That's the gravitational pull.
And then Parker Posey shows up as her character. Fiona gets introduced to the party. Very
entrance.
elaborate.
Very Madonna-esque.
Yeah.
And then she brings him into the room that no boys are allowed in except for her manservants.
I like
apparently.
when she goes like, "Let's go be girls." Like she does this like shoulder thing that stuck with me for years because I rewatched it like a few nights ago because I haven't seen it in like probably 5 years, and like shit like that just stuck with me. I'm like, oh my god,
I thought you were gonna say like 5 weeks, but a really long time.
I watch it like at least once a month.
I thought her whole thing was an act to try and get the girls to like her. I didn't realize until the end.
It plays into the twist later, and then
Yes.
she also speaks under her breath again. But then she starts lisping,
Yeah,
and she like can't turn it off for a little bit.
yeah.
Let's braid hairs and be best friends and blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
and braid each other's hair.
Yeah,
girls don't actually do that.
Yeah.
Or talk like that.
and I also love when she tries to make him feel bad. Or she's like, "How much do you weigh? 118? I'm 115, but whatever."
Yeah, they have the snacks right there. Oh, you probably think I'm a pig for eating something.
It's like one chip on a plate.
Yeah.
Which I think is, that's very wrong. Women are very nice to each other and not passive aggressive, and they wouldn't say things like that, right? Because they all lift each other up.
Not in the real world. I wish.
Yeah.
But
we
sure.
were born into a competitive world where we are born to hate each other, unfortunately.
Yes.
Me and Newt lift each other up all the time.
Yeah, but you guys do it in a totally different type of way.
Yeah.
No, we actually, because he's very tiny, and sometimes I can't reach stuff, so I have to lift him up.
He's so short.
I have to literally lift him up like Simba in The Lion King.
Can we review Bring It On and can I be on it? And then can you do a pyramid with Newt on top?
Yes. I've been wanting to do Bring It On too. I love Bring It On.
I know how many times I saw that movie in the theaters.
Same.
It's embarrassing.
I saw it once.
6 times.
My
Do you know the entire routine? I used to know the whole routine.
I know the whole
I have a
routine.
friend, a guy friend, who watches this show, so I won't name you. But you know I'm talking to you, who knew like the whole routine, because I think him and his sisters watched it a lot.
It's a great movie.
It's great.
We will talk about that one day. So they eventually leave, and she tells like Alan Cumming, she's like, "I don't like those two. They're
I don't
up
like
to no
those 2
good."
pussycats. Like,
Yeah.
I like how she says that. She says something like that.
Again, another great joke is when Terry's sitting down. She's like, "I don't know. When I saw her, I got a real chill." And they're like, "It's because you're sitting on ice."
And then it's like shaped like an O, and then she goes, "Oh." I love it so much.
That is, again, the sight gags, the puns and stuff. Like, you think after we did Batman and Robin, you think I'd be done with like puns and sight gags and stuff, but I'm like, nah, it works here.
But she plays it so well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she just plays that character. And then you also have Fiona and Alan Cumming there doing the evil laugh.
Yeah.
Battling evil laughs back and forth. I thought that was funny.
And then I think this is when she goes to the aquarium
Yes.
with Alan. And I totally relate to this. Just you're trying to be out in public, having fun, and your fans are just hounding you
Because you're so
constantly.
famous. I can't imagine, Tony, what it's like to be you every day.
Oh my god, is that Josie?
Heavy is the head that wears the cat ears.
Yeah. I see what she did
That's
there.
the heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I get
Anyway,
it, I get it.
yeah, no, so I relate to this because I'm very famous and important.
Yes.
We're famous than Crystal.
Obviously.
Maybe not as famous as you. I'm getting there.
I don't know about that. I think you have me topped.
We'll see. We'll have a death battle.
Okay.
We'll have a
Cool.
Star Trek themed death battle.
I totally am putting so much money down on Erin. We're going down,
See,
Tony.
people are like, "Oh, you're so like, you seem so bubbly and everything," and I'm like, I have a lot of rage though, like bottled
see
deep inside, and it comes out in spurts every once in a while. But a lot
Listen.
of people haven't seen it.
Bottle it all up for this battle.
Save it.
Just save
For our
it.
death battle.
I might go too far.
You'll never go too
Okay,
far.
okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
The next Aaron plays, you're just covered in blood, my head's on a pike. You're like, "Hey guys, today we're playing Kirby."
Like I recreate that Kathy Griffin photo.
Yes.
but like you don't even mention it. You're just covered in blood, my head's on a pike, and you're like,
"Hey guys, today we're playing like
Bubble
fucking
Bobble."
Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64." Speaking of furries,
It's like
and you're wearing that fucking hat.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Okay, so
We're totally making that happen.
Alan Cumming.
Yes.
He basically tells them like, "Oh, you guys are gonna go on TRL."
Oh my god, I love this part.
And Josie's like, "You guys should go, totally."
Yeah.
And then is this where oh yeah. She's like, "I have to go to my good friend's gig," and Alan Cumming's like, "No, the gig was canceled," but he's constantly calling the front desk and giving them information.
Yes.
And then she puts on she's also putting on the headphones that he gave her.
Yeah, to hear the new remix or whatever.
The new remix, yeah, and it's just like brainwashing her the whole time. I did feel bad for the guy when he's like playing his gig.
And he had like a rose on a table for her, and there's like a guy, just people coming out of the bathroom.
Yeah, that's like when I used to screen short films at the Trocadero, and I would like invite like girls I like or friends of mine, and like, "Hey, this is a really cool thing," and then none of them would show up.
But Alexandra was there.
Oh yeah, she was there. She's trying to move in on it.
I'm with the band,
and that's when you start realizing, like, oh yeah, she does like it. So then,
can we talk about the TRL part?
The TRL part.
Yeah.
First of all, not only is it Carson Daly, but it's Aries Spears from Mad TV. It's like the most early 2000s thing in the world.
I
forgot.
Spears.
Did,
like I was like, why the fuck is he there?
Wait, did Carson Daly actually paint his nails? I forgot all about that.
Sometimes he would, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I kind of remember that because I would watch TRL every day after school.
For not every day, but yeah, for a good year, I was watching TRL.
So I saw anything with Aries Spears ruins it for me. I hate him.
Do you want to put some allegedlys in front of what you're about to say?
No, I don't because
I don't know anything about him besides Mad TV.
Okay, I could tell you. So I love comedy.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've worked in comedy for a really long time.
Okay.
Also have worked with, let me name drop, pretend like I'm new. I've also worked with Aries Spears more times than I can count.
Oh.
His stand-up is nothing like, I used to love him on on Mad TV.
Yeah.
Loved his stuff. And then I was like, oh, cool. And then actually worked with him. Miserable human being. Miserable.
Allegedly.
No, I was there. Physically there. And he was miserable. Okay. And he's been of an asshole.
Quiet.
Crystal, I can't have this video store, this prestigious video store being so allegedly.
I don't want Aries Spears coming after me.
This is all allegedly.
With a baseball bat, like in the movie. Oh, God.
And his stand-up is very preachy and super homophobic.
Oh.
He is not like, every time,
Again, allegedly, I can neither confirm or deny. Just to counter it, I love Aries Spears, best comedian in the world. He's my best friend. Anyway.
Best comedian. Oh. And I'm not the type of person, I love like weird humor. Like I love David Tell and Legion of Skanks and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother, he is not.
One thing though about that TRL scene that I thought was funny, that they kind of like referenced the fact that like they're dating, because they were dating at the time, Tara Reid and Carson Daly.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll never date you or whatever. And
that was pretty funny.
And there's like the cardboard cutouts of like Ricky Martin and
that was
Stefani.
I do like that they're flirting while he's trying to kill her.
Yeah.
And then Aries Spears does a Bill Cosby impression. You know who's funny? Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
That didn't age well.
Speaking of jokes that didn't
cancel Aries Spears.
Oh no.
Well, not for this one. Like that was
cancel
right
Aries
Yeah, that was
Spears.
like 20 years ago.
So now Josie is a bad guy now.
Yes, because she's been brainwashed.
And she's super mean to her best friends.
And she's mean to the girl doing her nails.
Yeah, it's all about her. She can't stand these hanger-ons, and she's gonna go solo. Are you listening? You and Newt are on thin ice. I'm gonna go full Josie one day.
This feels like a toxic work environment.
Yes, the video store. I'm gonna go solo at the video store.
Go to HR. Who's HR? Do we have HR?
Yeah, we have HR. It's the Hack the Movies Jin who lives inside the Milton bobblehead.
Oh,
fuck.
Well, great 3 wishes.
Fuck.
Anyway, yeah. So that whole scene is hilarious, where they're like fighting them. I love how they went the extra mile to make everything because they're so high up. They could have just did it at the TRL set, but they're like, nah,
everything's cardboard.
We're just creating everything in cardboard.
That was really funny.
That was great.
I love that scene.
So yeah, she basically like kicks everyone out.
Oh my gosh! And when she said to Melody that everything is not what it was. Like, not everything is puppies and kitties.
Oh, she's like, puppies grow up to be dogs that die.
That was awful. And then when she says to Vel, she goes, Vel, who's a rock star? And Vel's like, no.
Me.
Who's a rock star? Yeah, or me or whatever. Because in the beginning of the movie, that's like their thing, like to cheer each other up. Like, who's a rock star? I am.
Yeah. I love the CGI zoom into the Walkman. That's very early 2000s.
I
Like,
loved
that reminds me of what you call it, Fight Club with the printer. X-Men had all those CGI zoom ins,
Yeah,
Matrix, and like
shot.
this. I'm like, wow, like they really went the extra mile for this. And it's the movie phone voice guy, which is pretty great.
Yes.
Who's our rock star? You are.
Yeah. So good.
So then she's walking around with it and she trips.
Yes.
And then that's when she realizes that she's being brainwashed because something that we missed talking about was the bus pass.
Yes, the Riverdale Bus Pass.
Right. They took that bus pass. They all had to share one bus pass.
Because they
no,
were
they didn't
so
share it.
Oh, they
jumped into the photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I've never had a bus pass where you had to take a picture.
Well,
it
in
has a driver's
Riverdale,
license.
you need
Okay.
one. And then
Riverdale's
they were like,
not real.
They were like, we
What?
should save this. So we don't forget where we came from. Friends first, band second. And then she saw that and she's like, oh my God, I've been brainwashed.
That's smart. That's why that was set up ahead of
See?
time.
That was
You're
definitely
right.
set up. Yeah.
And I love when they take it to the studio and they try to isolate the
Yeah.
sound. And they're like, oh my God, the movie phone guy, Missy Pyle's just like, did you
slept
sleep
with him.
That was so funny.
I can see like a grandparent or something being like, I listened to Josie and the Pussycats. Let's take you to the movie. And they're like,
Yeah.
you slept with the movie phone guy. They're like, oh no.
And then it's like, honk if you love pussy. It's like one of the first things you see.
And backdoor lover. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Anal and pussy talking right there. In the
I like
beginning.
how in the beginning it hits you with both of those jokes.
I love it.
So good.
Also, Heath Ledger is the new Matt Damon.
Oh,
No.
rip.
I miss Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
He was the new Matt Damon. He was
He
the better
was.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Although Matt Damon was doing pretty well that time with the Bourne Identity. That movie was fucking awesome. Which I think
He
the
was.
Alan guy is in. Alan M plays a character in the first two Bourne movies, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I forget which character. It's been a while since I've seen the Bourne movies.
Yes.
But Parker Posey catches them. And
Yes.
she's like, you're not going to foil my plan or whatever. She forces her to do the concert, and everyone's getting their headphones on so they can like watch it virtually and whatnot. But Josie won't perform.
Nope.
So she threatens to kill her friends.
In a car, I like when
And-
she's like, "You want a car?"
She's so cute.
But I love. Oh wait, by the way, is this the one where she has like the feathers off of her?
Yes.
Or is that her? Oh,
or was that earlier?
I think it might have been earlier.
That was when she's showing the government around.
Okay,
her
okay,
face,
yeah. There's a
right?
scene where she just has feathers everywhere, and they're just
I don't remember.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know.
after the government because when she was showing the government around, they talked about how feathers are going to be the next big thing.
Oh, okay.
And then
Oh.
that pops up later. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, she has a feathers in some scenes. I think it might be
Yes.
the series of scenes. Anyway, I love that the VH1 scene is already filmed.
Yeah.
Like they've already
go.
filmed the death of the Pussycats. But yeah, so
Also in that scene, there's so much like Sega Dreamcast advertisements.
there's a lot of Sega
A
stuff
lot of
I noticed.
Sega.
And I like
pretty
when
funny.
she apologizes to her friends. She's like, I'm sorry, I love you, you're all great. And
Yeah.
then De Jour shows up.
Yes, they live.
Amazing. They just pop out of nowhere.
They don't really do much. They're like, we left a warning for you, and that's it. But I love they're all in bandages.
Yeah.
Except one.
Except for one, the one who I don't
Because-
know. Oh, even the monkey's in bandages, which I
Yeah.
liked.
But why is he not in bandages? Or why wasn't he in bandages?
They're like, they landed in a parking lot for a Metallica concert.
And he knew the words to Inner Sandman.
yeah, they're
Yes.
like, why weren't you beat up? He's like, I thank God every day that I know every word to this.
Yes, I thought that was hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
Then everyone fights.
That's it.
Slap
Yes.
fight.
Tara Reid happens to know martial arts.
Yes,
Which I was not
I like
expecting.
that happens out of nowhere. She's
Yeah,
like
just
really
totally
good at
not
fighting.
set
That
up.
was perfect.
And it turns out the secret message Parker Posey was going to release was that everyone should think she's cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone should be like Fiona.
That's right. But like, you would have to know who that is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, Fiona who?
Fiona's the thinnest. Fiona's the coolest.
Yeah.
Fiona's the prettiest girl. And why does she want everyone to think she's super cool?
Because
I felt this.
Because she got bullied in school for having a lisp.
Yeah.
And she had messed up teeth.
She never had friends.
And then she reveals who she is. But then Alan Cumming also went to the same school, and he's not British, and he's albino
No. Yeah.
and fat.
And he's white ass Wally.
White ass Wally. But I love the scene where the Pentagon shows up, And Josie's like, yeah, they did this. And the Pentagon's like, oh, they did?
Yeah, no idea.
That reminds me of the Reno 911 movie. When they go to apologize to Patton Oswalt and then they see he's in with a drug dealer. He's like, oh, they figured it out. And the cops are like, yes, we figured it out. All of it. And they like, it's just a total accident. But I love the Pentagon. He's like, sorry, someone had to take the fall.
Yeah, that was good.
I've seen that actor in a lot of things too, the Pentagon guy. The one I can remember is Freddy vs. Jason. He was the main girl's dad. So yeah, everyone learns that happiness comes from the inside.
Yes. And just be yourself.
That's terrible advice. Don't be yourself.
But like the real message is like you're being marketed to in every single way. Think of yourself.
Yes. Don't be yourself when you're trying to date. Okay. 5 months in the relationship, start being yourself again.
When they're already trapped. And they're like,
yeah, when they're already trapped, you can go back to being yourself.
I'm in this now.
You know what's never helped me at all? Being myself.
Oh, that's a horrible way to think.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to trap somebody, and then they're going to be like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah. Is this not really who you
are?
are?
Short-term thinking. Who are you?
I don't know. I'm like, I'm lost in the character. I'm like Andrew Dice Clay in like the early 90s.
Oh.
I'm lost in my character.
You became a caricature of yourself and you can't get out.
I can't tell what's real or fake anymore. I sit at home and I just start reviewing movies nonstop.
While wearing 90 choker necklaces and a furry cat hat. Yep, this is who Tony really is, guys.
Your
and
final
sunglasses
form.
for no reason.
One really good joke before like the music starts.
Yeah.
They're like, we found out advertising in movies is better. Josie and the Pussycats is the best movie ever.
And then it says, join the army.
Which they took from The Simpsons. The Simpsons had that episode where...
Simpsons did it first.
Oh, yeah, wait, no, they did. The Simpsons had that episode where the boy band was adding in, or like whatever music group was adding in Join the Navy in the backing track. Yeah, they played it backwards.
That's funny.
Yvonne et Niage.
Simpsons predicts everything.
Yvonne, join the Navy.
Wow.
But yeah, they get up on stage. They sing a brand new song.
And Josie's like... Don't put the ears on. Like, just do what you want.
Yeah.
Hopefully you like it. And if you don't, that's okay too.
Yes. And then also she's in love with Alan.
Yes. And they can hear each other have a conversation during a concert.
Yes.
And of course, there's that, like, overdone scene where he's crowd surfing and he drops and the whole, and that sound clip of everyone going, oh.
Yes. Yeah. And then the movie ends with everyone dancing, which was common for this time.
Yes.
Like, I know Something About Mary ended with everyone dancing. Oh, Master of Disguise did it. That awful fucking movie we reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was painful. Anyway, yeah, so this movie ends with that and, like, the bloopers and whatnot.
Yeah, that made me think, like, nobody does that anymore. That was a thing where it's like every movie ended with, like, a fun song playing and bloopers.
I'm trying to think of the last movie I saw that ended with bloopers.
Like, Bring It On.
Yes.
Yay.
Was it Horrible Bosses, I think, is the last movie I remember in theater seeing bloopers.
They did. Oh, my God. When they played the Friends song.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No. Oh, no, I'm
that
thinking
was We're the Millers.
Meet the Millers.
I haven't seen that one.
That's but I didn't see that in theaters. But yeah, you're right.
They did the bloopers in that, which I thought was hilarious. I wish they did that more because I think it's so funny.
It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, that was Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I finally watched it.
Yay.
I plan to watch it more because I actually really, really enjoyed the movie.
It's good.
The only problem is like it's a cult film now.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only problem is like it's really like only relevant to us.
It's for a specific person. It's like either you would like it or you won't.
Like if I show like my goddaughter or something this.
Yeah, she won't get it.
They might like the singing and the dancing and the characters, but they're not gonna get the TRL thing. They're not really gonna get a lot of the references.
It's pretty dated now.
But yeah, I think I don't know if I mentioned off camera earlier, but yeah, it's kind of weird that Hollywood was like, we want to make this movie for teenagers. And then the whole movie is like, teenagers, you're stupid. Everything you like is stupid. Look at all this stupid. And like, no wonder it didn't do well. Like, no one wants to go to the movie and be told they're an idiot.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they had the balls to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they attached an intellectual property to it to tell the story, but
I mean,
that still happens today. Like when you want to when you want to make a movie about a guy who's just wronged by the system and dealing with mental health, but you know it's not going to make $1 billion, you just slap Joker on the title and that'll make $1 billion.
And it works.
I liked that movie.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just not the Joker. Like this probably isn't what people wanted from Josie and the Pussycats, but it's a great movie.
If you see the cartoon is literally Scooby-Doo, but with Josie and the Pussycat characters. The Scooby-Doo and came out a year before Josie and the Pussycats.
Which we've reviewed on this channel.
And there's actually 2 characters voiced by the same Scooby-Doo characters. Shaggy voices Alexander, and Scooby-Doo voices the cat. Is it Sebastian? Sebastian, yeah.
Oh, wait, they did.
The cat.
Did they have a cat in this?
They had a cat. It was Alexandra's cat. They didn't have it in the movie.
Why wouldn't they have it? Because that's
Which is weird, because the cat is the one that snickers all the time. He's like,
yeah, why didn't they put the cat in the movie?
It was very odd.
They could have done like the Sabrina Salem thing. Right? They used like a puppet,
Salem puppet
and have him talk.
Because there's parts in the comics where apparently the cat has like magical powers and Alexandra has magical powers, and then they totally mentioned
Well, aren't they related? Isn't Sabrina in the same universe?
Yes, which I forgot. Totally.
When's the gritty Josie and the Pussycats reboot? We've had the gritty Riverdale. We've had the gritty Sabrina.
I love the what are you talking? The Netflix Sabrina?
Yeah,
that
was
one.
Like
I
reboot.
loved that
series.
I
haven't seen it,
it's
but
so
I'm a little tired.
I also love witches.
I'm a little tired of gritty reboots.
I like it. I like the adult versions of things I used to love in the past.
No, that's
so
stupid.
I loved Sabrina growing
you're gonna
up.
You're gonna love Powerpuff Girls.
Is that gritty?
No, I won't.
Well, they're
Is it
redoing.
gritty?
They're redoing it. They shot the pilot,
and then they're redoing it, right?
Yeah, because apparently it was really.
I saw
bad.
one picture, and I couldn't tell if it was real, but they were literally wearing like the costumes.
They apparently wear that for like one scene, and they go to their edgy costumes. But like the script leaked, and it's just like all like raunchy sex jokes, and Mojo Jojo is killed off screen in between, and then like the cartoon is based off their adventures, but it's all inaccurate, and they bitch about it. I'm like, no one wants to watch this. Literally, no one wants to watch this.
That sounds like a mess.
Yeah,
and now if it's being totally reshot, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure like someone finally had the foresight to be like, this is a terrible idea. Let's do it again. Yep. It's not as good as Josie and the Pussycats.
No. Yes, such a good movie.
And
such good actors.
Yes.
So please.
It's a good time.
Check out this movie. It's on HBO Max. Along with Josie and Pussycats cartoons. They're also
on. And be sure you watch the one that's PG-13.
Which is on there. It's on HBO
Because I think Amazon Prime only has PG. So.
Oh, yes. And thank you for introducing this movie to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Because we would have literally never watched it. And thank you for coming on.
Oh, for sure.
To the video store to talk about movies while we film it.
This was delightful.
We don't sell a lot of tape, so we got to pass the time. Do you want any tapes?
There's a lot of them. There's some decent. No.
Do you want Buffalo 66? I'll lend you Buffalo 66.
We got the original Scream.
Anyway, that is it from us.
Zoolander, look at that right there.
Oh, I didn't know we were still filming.
No, we're still filming.
Yeah, we just keep going.
Wild West.
I'm trying to end it, but now the bit's gone on too long. So anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check out that podcast. I know you're a big fan of the show, right?
Yes.
But sometimes when you're driving, you can't watch a video.
Yeah.
Erin has multiple traffic tickets because she keeps watching the show while driving, but now you can just listen to the podcast feed.
Thank God.
Thank
God for creating a podcast, Tony. He saved my life.
He saved her life.
Tony saved Erin Play's life.
Yes.
And check out Erin Plays, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.